Okay,
right.
so how's that marketing thing going for you? How's running Cadillac going for you?
Great.
We haven't really talked about that.
Well, it's been, we're Cadillac. We've had dedicated Cadillac studios, like where this car was developed, and guys like Clay Dean and the rest of the team. I mean, we are very integrated with marketing from a design function, so which is very critical. It's all forward-facing to the customer, and so for me, it wasn't totally unnatural.
Well, no, because you speak culturally as a designer anyway.
And you're visually articulating the promise of the brand in all those different ways. And then, I mean, the cars are driving around, they're, like Bob always says, they're out-of-home advertising as you're doing them. So you're essentially, marketing and design has to be heavily integrated. So,
Yeah.
And then I've just always had a huge interest in brand. And so looking at all the opportunities, and, there isn't a lot of difference having a conversation with me than there is with the designers.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because we always go to the designers because they know the most about what they're doing. So that's not bad.
Is that right?
What's your biggest? What's your number one goal?
Well,
Is it for this year?
growth.
Growth.
Does that help? ACM. No, there's still a lot of what they like to call false familiarity. There's still a lot of DeVille
False familiarity?
There's a lot of DeVille still out there. I mean,
False familiarity.
you like that? That's a good marketing
that.
term. And what that means is you've got people that are they're seeing DeVille's more than they're seeing a CTS sports sedan.
Yeah.
And that creates a false perception of what we're doing. It's like, well, I don't naturally think of Cadillac as being this innovative, technology-driven, advanced, driving performance type of brand. And because you just don't get the exposure that you typically do with that huge car park of those existing divisions. So that's one change. Is kind of there's a lot of exciting product. The product offensive, certainly with the wagon and now the coupe, independent of anything that's happened with the holding company, we've been on this mission and executing this plan. So that's been very consistent. But I think the big change is getting people to really conquest, and we have to find unique ideas to do that. We've been doing a thing on the SRX, for instance, where we go into a certain neighborhood, a certain area, kind of arts, entertainment, dinner place, and we bring the competition. We bring an RX Lexus, we bring an X5, and we bring our SRX. Because customers, we find that for Cadillac, they need to make the judgment themselves. We can tell them, they can get accolades from, Edmunds on the consumer reviews, or we can get JD Power results, or we can get a KBB award. All of those things have tremendous value in kind of deciding what you want to do and what cars you're interested in. But they really need to sit in the car, and then they're really surprised. Wow, it is an appealing interior. Wow, there's a lot of features I haven't seen before. Wow, it is an intuitive nav system. It's getting them there, but they naturally, many times, especially more affluent customers, they don't naturally just come up with Cadillac in their mind as a natural, immediate place to start looking.
Good. Are you worried at all about the coupe market itself?
Well,
You have all those really mundane things to worry about, right?
It's important. The coupe market is in its own kind of realm of stability. So it fluctuates, of course, as the economy does. But, there's a new E-Class coupe out. There's a new A5 coupe from Audi. And we want to be in that competitive set. It is a younger customer. They are typically young, affluent males. That's very, very important. It's important validation of the robustness of the car. So there's some marketing value beyond just the business value of the business case. And then, it's pretty relevant as far as a statement of confidence. That's the great thing about coupes is you've got a little more flexibility in idealizing the aesthetics of the identity. And coupes end up culminating kind of, it's almost a visual manifesto of everything that we want to achieve with the brand. It's exciting, it's performance driven, it's fun to drive.
Do you have to have
and technology?
you obviously have to have some kind of threshold sales.
Yes.
So
yes,
can
absolutely.
you make it at a fairly low number?
Well, we certainly have our targets, and the car will go on sale in the summer, kind of early summer next year. And we'll see how things go. It's always supply and demand, and we've got to see where the demand exists. And that'll be for the total segment. It won't be based on, us artificially creating demand in any ways. We'll just see where things flow. But our investment, we feel very confident, no question.
Do you have a target customer?
The target, I think, like I was describing before, is we find they typically purchase based on appearance. It's number one reason for purchase. But right now, I mean, it's all import.
Yeah.
There is nothing else, and so we feel we're offering a pretty interesting choice for people.
Do you have to go anywhere different to sell this CTS Coupe?
Certainly the luxury markets are in kind of predictable places. New York, LA, Miami, and Coupes especially are in those smile states. We find that you get a dramatic kind of percentage of your volume in those markets. And so you'll see high concentrations, absolutely, and that's exactly where we have to go to talk to people.
How's your party life now?
Well, I have 4 children.
You've been partying a little hard at home.
So, a lot of girls. So, it's, Dad, can we go look at the American Girl website? It's like,
That was great.
All right, I don't think I can hold the camera much longer.
I do have them. We got a PS3. We've got Midnight Express, Los Angeles driving games, and I've got them driving on those little controllers. Oh yeah. It's ironically my girls are more interested in cars than my son. So